Hi everybody! Today I have a really exciting book review for you. It is The Adventures of a Donkey by Countess de Ségur, or Comtesse de Ségur, and translated to English by Mrs. E. Fielding. Now, what's so exciting about this, as you can see, it is a really old book. This edition, this actual physical book, was published in 1910. So there are various cool things about this. First of all, the original story was published in 1860 in French in France by a French Russian-born author. And so that's pretty cool in itself. It's a children's book from the 1800s, the middle 19th century. That's awesome. Then the next cool thing is the fact that this actual physical book is from 1910. It was my great-great-grandmother's book. This was my grandfather's book, who I never met because he died before I was born, so it's kind of handed down to me from my mum anyway, but it was his grandmother's. He never knew his parents. He lived and grew up with his grandmother, so it was her copy, so it's pretty awesome in that respect. And it gets one step better in the sense that this book, as a story, was published in the UK in 1911 in English, and this is from 1910. This is a proof copy of a translation of a book from the 1800s. Amazing. So it is extremely unlikely that most people will ever be able to get hold of a copy of this, because while there are copies that have been released in the last 10 years according to Goodreads, they're mostly in French and for some reason Arabic. I don't really know why, but there we go. So if you ever do get a chance to read this, definitely do. Actually, it might be quite a good one to read if you're learning French, because it's a children's story, so it's not too complex, but it also has it's old-fashioned, so it would be an interesting read, I think. Basically, it's about what it says, The Adventures of a Donkey, and as it does say here, if you can see that, it says illustrated, and it is indeed illustrated with some quite unpleasant images. There's a donkey being hit. So I find it quite entertaining that the donkey is called Napoleon, because, well, that it proves that it was in France. This book is set in France and not in the UK, because it would be called something very different, not Napoleon. And I like that it has a moral. The donkey gets cocky, essentially, because he's a clever donkey, unlike most of his mates, I think, and yeah, he gets cocky and he realises that actually, while he thinks he's being clever and doing fun things because he doesn't like people, he's being sort of mean to them, actually people are turning on him because he's not being a very nice guy. He's being a pretty cruel donkey, and that's not what we want. So then he has to learn repentance and earn back people's belief in him, because it says about how he says later on in the book about how he can't just say sorry because he's a donkey. But I thought that was a nice metaphor for people. You can't just say sorry and hope that people accept that. You have to show that you're sorry. And that's why I really liked this book. It's only 142 pages, so it's really short. I read it in like an afternoon. I read it yesterday, just in an afternoon, and then it was done. And I'm really pleased that I read it, because it makes me feel closer to a member of my family who, you know, died a long time before I was born, and also makes me feel closer to my granddad, who I never met, died the year before I was born. So it was a nice reminiscent piece for me. Thanks, Grandad Alan, for your grand's book. Much appreciated. In picking up that photo frame, I just found 3 dead flies. Yeah, that's really everything. I wanted to do a review of this because I just think it's really fascinating. Let me know if you have any cool heirlooms, books or otherwise, from your family that have been passed down through the generations, because I would love to know. That would be great. And because I'm an only child from my mum, I've got 2 half-brothers on my dad's side, and my uncle hasn't got children, this is without a doubt mine that I can pass down. So that's exciting. And that is everything. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow with a theatre review. In fact, the videos tomorrow and Friday will both be theatre reviews. Bye!